Hi friends of Jubilee Plus, welcome to this week's Monday Mercy video. One of my favourite Bible verses is Micah 6 verse 8, where it tells us that God requires of his people that we act justly, love mercy and walk humbly with our God. And this verse is so evidently one of my favourites that I get gifts about it all the time. So for Christmas, someone bought me this t-shirt that says do justice, love mercy and walk humbly. Some friends of mine recently gave me this board that says act justly, love mercy, walk humbly, and that's up in my living room as a constant reminder. A friend sent me from all the way from Germany, kind of like a paperweight that says exactly the same thing. And just a couple of days ago, I stepped down from the board of the Trussell Trust Food Bank Network after 3 years in which it's been such an incredible privilege to serve, and I've learned so much and I've met so many wonderful people. But as a memento of leaving, they gave me this, which also says do justice, love mercy and walk humbly. So it's one of my favourite verses, but I've tended to focus a lot on the act justly and love mercy part. So act justly and love mercy, they kind of make sense to me why they're paired here. We act justly, which is the outward expression towards other people of campaigning for justice, of wanting justice for people, of wanting to see those who are trapped, for example, in poverty or oppression or who are marginalised. We want justice for people. And loving mercy to me seems intrinsically connected in that it's about the attitudes of our heart towards people, and we want to see mercy rolled out. And even just in the cross of Jesus Christ, we see justice and mercy meet in that place. Perfect justice, incredible, astonishing mercy come together in the cross of Christ. So for me, I've never really particularly focused on the walk humbly with your God part of this verse. And if I'm honest, it seems like an odd triplet. The pairing of justice and mercy seems to make perfect sense to me, but the walk humbly, I don't know, it's weird because I think that's more Godward. So I've been thinking about that recently, like why have I ignored the kind of walk humbly bit and why is it there? And one of the reasons I think it's there is because I think God wants us to take the servant and lowly and assuming others have something to teach us position of humility. We see it obviously ultimately in the life of Jesus, that the one who was there at the very beginning, who created all things, the one who has no beginning, actually he laid down his life. He became a servant. He washed his disciples' feet. He did the lowest form of being a servant and the lowest form of humility. It says that he didn't consider equality with God something to be grasped, but he humbled himself, even to death on a cross. And so I think one of the reasons God wants us to walk humbly, and it's one of the reasons it's in this verse with justice and mercy, is because I think we can only really act justly and do mercy when we do come with this humble attitude that believes that others have something to teach us, that believes that others are just as important as us, if not considering them of more importance than ourselves. There's something of where we can lay down our lives in the pursuit of justice and mercy for other people when we are walking humbly. Paul Brown, who is a pastor in a church in Bermondsey in London, he and I have just written a book called Invisible Divides that comes out in April. And the book is all about class issues in the church, issues between working classes and middle classes, and how actually there can be a looking down of one to the other, but also a reverse snobbery as well. So actually it's not that one looks down on the other and the other doesn't. Actually it can go in two ways. And I believe the starting place, wherever we consider ourselves to be on any sort of spectrum like that, the starting place has to be that I humbly see the image of God in you, and I recognise that I haven't got it all sewn up. In fact, I'm not right about everything. Even some of my theology probably isn't. I'm probably not right about everything. Coming with an adamant I know best, that's just not something that God ever kind of encourages or allows us to do. He wants us to walk humbly. He wants us to learn from others. He brings people alongside us who are different to us, not so we can judge them, but so that we can humbly, in deep humility, actually learn about him, about life, about different people's experiences, and actually learn that other people may know what they're doing more than we do. So why don't you this week focus on what it means to not just act justly, not just love mercy, but also to walk humbly with our God. Have a great week.